We're coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3. Let's give you a sense of what's leading with these top stories. The spokesperson for the family of Nathi Mthethwa has confirmed that the remains of the ambassador will arrive in South Africa on Friday.
The first intervention is to use electricity tariffs and investment in transmission infrastructure.
The ANC has outlined a 10-point plan to try to revive the South African economy. The Department of International Relations and Cooperation has been formally notified by the Israeli authorities that the South African citizens are scheduled to be released from detention and will be repatriated via Jordan tomorrow morning. At the back of those headlines, it has just gone 8 o'clock. Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. My name is Paulette Snell. Great to be in your company this evening. Let's get into it, starting with this. Dr. Sfiso Buthelezi, the spokesperson for the family of Nathi Mthethwa, has confirmed that the remains of the ambassador will arrive in South Africa on Friday. He says that French authorities have signed off on the autopsy paperwork and the repatriation permit. Buthelezi adds that the expectation is for Mthethwa's remains to leave Paris on Thursday, and as per the family's plans, the burial is scheduled for Sunday. Mthethwa, who was SA's ambassador to France, died last week after falling from the second floor of a Paris hotel.
We are looking at using Air France, and the first available space is only on Thursday. So we're trying to get that space. And obviously, it becomes also a function of what happens at the Department of International Relations and the embassy in trying to facilitate that process. But we are very hopeful that we are going to be able to move back home, to go back home by Thursday evening and arriving in South Africa on Friday.
To this now, the ANC has outlined a 10-point plan to try to revive the South African economy. The party's special National Executive Committee meeting resolved to increase the capacity of Eskom's transmission lines and Transnet's freight rails. Party President Cyril Ramaphosa says a war room will be formed in the presidency to monitor efforts to boost economic growth.
The first intervention is to use electricity tariffs and investment in transmission infrastructure, that is the grid, to drive economic activity. Among other things, this means preferential electricity tariffs for ferrochrome and manganese as well as steel. We will fast-track the transmission development plan to establish or to install 14,000 kilometers of transmission lines for our electricity grid. The second intervention is to accelerate the recovery of our freight and logistics sector. Progress is being made in this regard, but we want to fast-track this. This includes the implementation of Transnet's recovery plan, private sector participation in rail and port operations, and upgrading of export corridors. The third intervention is to rebuild our chrome and manganese industries.
Controversial Northwest businessman Brown Mokgotsi says he remains a member of the ANC in good standing. He says ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula's utterance that his ANC membership has expired were unwarranted and simply overreach. Mokgotsi says he is ready and available to appear before the Matlango Commission as well as a parliamentary ad hoc committee which are probing allegations of political interference, criminality and corruption in the criminal justice system. Mbalula told journalists last week that Mokgotsi's membership of the ANC had expired.
He sent me a message. I don't know where does he get my number. I don't care. I won't respond to him. He's not a member of the ANC. He's not. To answer your question, Brian Mokgotsi is not a member of the ANC. It took me time to go to the records. I went to the branch, even the province. He's not a member of the ANC. He's just going up and down, perambulating among leaders and his proximity. He's not a member. The things that he does and he's proclaimed to have done, he's doing them on his own.
But let me confirm something to you. I'm a member of the ANC in good standing. I have also, attempted to send you some proof that my membership only expires at the end of October. But it is not the Secretary General who has the power to do that. My branch, which I have communicated with, and they are aware that my membership only expires at the end of October.
Some analysts believe the newly formed Unite for Change could hold a strategic advantage ahead of the 2026 local government elections. Over the weekend, Bosa, Rise Mzansi and the Good Party announced that they've joined forces to contest the upcoming elections under one banner. The founding parties have said their respective organizations will continue with their MPs, MPLs and councillors still acting within their capacity to fulfill their mandates.
Following the announcement of Unite for Change, the party says it was founded out of what it describes as a desperate need for change in local government.
I think all of us have seen our municipalities fall apart, collapse. It also comes at a time where I think citizens are asking for a new way to be governed with new leaders that are able to bring about that change, because I think citizens feel like they want to bring their own candidates forward.
Political analyst Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast says this union may find favor with the electorate, especially young people.
When you examine the political landscape, it is very much fragmented, and that sometimes tends to confuse even the younger voters who to vote for.
The party has decided that instead of one leader, representatives from the founding parties will serve on a leadership council.
It's not just about the delivering the service, but also the people, the leaders. So we want to bring more young people in. You know, now it's the time for young people to get that exposure, to learn how government works.
We also believe it is possible to invite people who are currently outside politics, who want to drive the change.
Zara Groenewald, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The Democratic Alliance's Nelson Mandela Bay mayoral candidate Retief Odendaal says he's taking a back-to-basics approach to restore the metro to its former glory. Speaking at the launch of his mayoral campaign in Gqeberha today, Odendaal outlined his strategy titled Get NMB Working Again, which focuses on fixing basics from repairing roads and streetlights to addressing administrative and financial challenges within the municipality.
A campaign focused on restoring stability, tackling corruption and improving service delivery in the city. Since his removal from office in 2023, Retief Odendaal says he spent some time on the ground across various wards, fine-tuning his vision for the city. A different approach, he says, from previous campaigns.
Well, I think that we've proven that in Nelson Mandela Bay, when we governed previously in a 10-party coalition, that we work rather fast. And taking control of the administration, making sure that you deal with issues such as the financial issues that are plaguing Nelson Mandela Bay is something that I believe I can do.
The party believes Odendaal's track record in financial management and clean governance makes him the right person to restore confidence in the metro.
That's why we say, get Nelson Mandela Bay working again. And why do we say again? We say again because we showed over a brief 9-month period just what we could do. And we know this next election is about rebuilding.
The party says every ward in Nelson Mandela Bay is fair game. In the 2021 local government elections, the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro saw no single party win an outright majority. Kim Daniels, SABC News, Gqeberha. Welcome.
Welcome back. Shift our focus to this now. The Department of International Relations and Cooperation has been formally notified by the Israeli authorities that South African citizens are scheduled to be released from detention and will be repatriated via Jordan tomorrow morning. They were abducted by Israeli forces in the international waters while on their way to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza.
The Department of International Relations and Cooperation has been formally notified by the Israeli authorities regarding the status of the South African citizens who participated in the recent Global Flotilla initiative. We have received confirmation that the individuals in question are scheduled to be released from detention and will be deported via Jordan tomorrow morning. Minister Lamola extends his gratitude to all of the relevant parties, both domestically and internationally, for their cooperation and coordination ensuring the safe return of South Africans.
Public Accounts Watchdog SCOPA will begin its inquiry into allegations of maladministration, financial impropriety and the misuse of public funds at the Road Accident Fund, or RAF, tomorrow. SCOPA resolved in July to launch the probe into RAF affairs.
We have also asked for information pertaining to alleged corruption by law firms, alleged corruption by judges. We have also asked for information pertaining to procurement of legal services, procurement of media and marketing services to the tune of 1 billion rand, procurement of properties, procurement of security services, and so on. So we've received a lot of allegations that have caused us to do this inquiry. So we are going to probe all of that. But during the first week, we are going to have the Auditor General, the National Treasury, the Special Investigating Unit, and others explaining to the committee what in the course of their work they've observed and noticed at the Road Accident Fund.
Students at the Tshwane University of Technology say a new safety initiative could be a game changer in tackling crime on campus. The Safety Campus campaign held at the university's Pretoria West campus is a joint effort between the South African Police Service and the Department of Higher Education and Training.
Entrust us.
An initiative to create a safer campus life is gaining momentum. University students across the country are often targeted by criminals for various reasons. Many have been robbed of personal belongings, including essential learning devices such as laptops. The launch of the Community Campus Safety Forum is now being rolled out across campuses nationwide.
I've experienced 2 sexual harassment cases, and man, they've left me feeling very sad and wondering what the future lies for women.
These forums aim to combat crime in schools and tertiary institutions, especially those located in high crime areas.
We're going to establish actually a student cadet formation, meaning each campuses will have a number of students who will then be trained appropriately and then help us.
Police visibility will no longer be limited to off-campus areas, but will now be actively visible and present on campus as well.
Crime is committed in any space. It's committed also beyond the borders of universities. So through this forum, we hope to create spaces for students to move freely.
Balentle Mthethwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Johannesburg City Power has expressed regret over a mounting payment backlog that has left several contractors unpaid. The utility says it is unfortunate that some service providers have caught in the 1.2 billion rand delay in payments for completed projects across the city.
Tensions ran high outside City Power's head offices as disgruntled contractors blocked the entrances and the exits, bringing operations to a standstill. No vehicles or staff were allowed in or out. The protest is linked to a payment dispute from a housing electrification project in Vlakfontein.
The community has suffered a lot because the project has to come to a standstill. Because people have not been paid.
We work so that we can provide for our families. We have a lot of problems that require money. They take us for granted while we work very hard.
City Power says the payment crisis is impacting service delivery across multiple projects and is not limited to contractors.
The protest is something that has been going on for some few months now because of the issues, among others, non-payment of these contractors. And it's not the only contractors that haven't been paid in a while. So we're sitting at about 1.2 billion rand in a backlog in terms of the payments of the contractors. And I think this is really something that is hindering some of the operational responsibilities that City Power is having. It's the issue that we're taking it up with the city, because remember, we get our funding or budget, monthly budget, from the city as the shareholder.
Protesters have vowed to continue their disruptions until their money is paid. Puseluzo Mukwena, SABC News, Johannesburg.
That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We now leave you with the latest weather forecast. For now, good night. God bless.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the Weather Desk. Time for us to look at those conditions over the country. Now we are expecting a rainy night over Gauteng. It is scattered showers and thunder showers for tonight, stretching into Mpumalanga and also parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Isolated for the rest of KwaZulu-Natal, stretching into Free State, the Northwest, and also parts of the Northern Cape. Also still expecting a 30% chance of showers and rain over the mother city, stretching into the adjacent interior. Also expecting some strong winds as we move towards the coast. We are expecting a wind speed of up to 40 kilometers per hour, can gust up to 55 kilometers per hour for tonight. For tomorrow, we're still expecting rainy conditions over the mother city, although just isolated over that province. Clear over the central parts of the country. Isolated showers and thunder showers as we move into Mpumalanga, stretching into Limpopo and also KwaZulu-Natal, with some morning fog patches over that escarpment of Mpumalanga. Looking at our warnings for tonight, it is a level 2 warning of some damaging winds and waves as we move towards the coast, making it be difficult to navigate at sea, and also some beach fund activities can be disrupted. So please, those who are headed towards the waters for tonight, let's be careful. Also a level 1 warning of damaging winds as we move towards the coast over the Western Cape. Moving into the interior over KwaZulu-Natal, it is a level 2 warning of some interior winds. So please, let's be careful over those areas. And also severe thunderstorms over Gauteng, stretching into Mpumalanga. Remember, it is a level 2, meaning some minor impact is expected. Those severe thunderstorms can be accompanied by a large amount of small hail, heavy downpours, and possibilities of some flooding. For tomorrow, we do expect morning fog patches as we move towards Mpumalanga, stretching into KwaZulu-Natal. Now, overnight temperatures, it is going to be a cold night. We are talking single digits as we move towards a Free State with an average of 5 over Bloemfontein and Bethlehem. Kimberley, Vryburg, stretching all the way into Upington, Calvinia, and also Sunderland. It's going to be a cold night for tonight. Cool conditions over the mother city with a low of 12. Maximum temperatures for tomorrow, it is a hot day over Musina with a high of 33. Should be warm over Johannesburg with a maximum of 28. But cool conditions as we move towards Cape Town. We're expecting a high of 90. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.